Now, when he was still campaigning, Argentina's new President Javier Milei threatened to cut ties with Beijing, favoring trade with the US and Europe.
Sabino Vaca Narvaja, the ex-diplomat from Argentina, just spilled some serious tea about the new government's move to skip the BRICS alliance, as Narvaja calls out President Javier Milei for this unexpected twist. Narvaja's got a point. Argentina could be missing out on some major perks, especially with this new development bank in the mix. Also, there's a plot twist involving cozying up to the US for cash. This situation resembles a gripping Netflix drama, but it's real-world economics and diplomacy at play. Next Generation Economics brings you the latest economic, financial, and global news from different parts of the world. If you are new here on our channel, enjoy learning about different topics on a global level. You will find our videos intriguing. In this video, we'll explore Argentina's decision not to join BRICS. Watch this video till the end and find out why Argentina is not joining the BRICS. Let's get started. Sabino Vaca Narvaja, the ex-Argentine ambassador to China, talked about how the new government's bias and ideology could mess up Argentina's economy during a chat with the Global Times. He wasn't a fan of President Javier Milei's call to skip joining the BRICS alliance. Instead, Narvaja thought it was crucial for Argentina to ride the wave of the new development bank set up by the BRICS crew, focusing on a financial system that is all about production and development. He scratched his head at Milei's move, saying it not only seemed puzzling but could also tick off important guys who had Argentina's back in the BRICS club, messing up the country's interests. Back in August 2023, the BRICS summit in South Africa made a big move, bringing in 6 new members, including Argentina. The plan was to kick off the party on January 1st, 2024, but Milei dropped the bombshell on December 30, 2023, announcing Argentina's no-show at the BRICS bash. Word on the street is that Milei wants to cozy up to the US for cash, either through the IMF or private investors. Milei's decision didn't sit well with people, especially the pros in Argentina's economic and diplomatic circles. Narvaja, joining in the chorus of critics, pointed out that during Alberto Fernandez's presidency, they were all about snagging a spot in the BRICS crew, thinking it was the ticket to tap into emerging markets. Narvaja kept hammering home the idea that if Argentina hopped on the BRICS train, it could give a serious boost to the company's economic game. He highlighted the natural fit between Argentina and the BRICS economies, and how the combined power of BRICS outshines the G7. He also gave a nod to the BRICS crew for playing superhero during crises, throwing out supplies, vaccines, and loans through the new development bank. With the BRICS fam covering almost half of the world's population and being oil production heavyweights, Narvaja saw it as a big deal for Argentina's economic future. Summing it up, Narvaja couldn't wrap his head around why the new government would turn down a BRICS invite when Argentina's in an economic pickle. He thought it was a head-scratcher that could mess with Argentina's deals, especially with China, at a time where the country needs all the help it can get. According to this ex-diplomat chatting with the Global Times, Argentina needs the new development bank to shake things up in its financial scene, focusing on production and development. This bank could dish out useful tools like counter-cyclical funds and development loans, bringing a bunch of perks to Argentina. But here's the head-scratcher. The new government is giving the cold shoulder to the BRICS group, and that's got this diplomat scratching his head. At a time when Argentina is hustling for infrastructure cash and trying to amp up exports, snubbing the BRICS framework seems like a real head-scratcher and not in Argentina's best interests, says our guy Narvaja. He's all about pointing out that Argentina leans heavily on trade with China, which is not just a big investor and lender for Argentina's infrastructure, but also a political ally. China is pulling some serious weight as Argentina's second biggest trading partner, the market for farming goodies, and the third largest source of investment. Even with curveballs like COVID-19, trade between China and Argentina shot up by a whopping 54.7% over the past 6 years, hitting about $25.5 billion last year. Plus, Argentina officially hopped on the Belt and Road Initiative train in 2022, and signed up for a collab plan with China under the BRI in 2023. Word on the street is that teaming up with China is the way to level up Argentina's infrastructure and tackle those debts with the IMF. Talking about the Belt and Road Initiative, it's important to point out that Argentina and its neighbor Brazil do things differently when it comes to dealing with China's Belt and Road Initiative. Argentina and Brazil are big players in South America and part of the G20 crew. They've got a lot in common. Both are into the BRICS group, major commodity producers, and have a thing for telenovelas and winning World Cups. Oh, and they're pretty tight with China in the trade game. But here's the twist. Argentina's all in with China's Belt and Road Initiative. while Brazil, despite being a top dog in Chinese investments and supplying them with raw goods, is playing it cool. Why the difference? Well, it's like this. Argentina, dealing with constant economic ups and downs, sees some serious benefits in joining the BRI, especially when they need that hard cash. On the other hand, Brazil's got a smoother ride with China, giving them more room to maneuver without diving into the BRI buzz. It's a classic case of each country weighing the pros and cons based on their unique situations in the South American economic game. So back in 2013, Xi kicks off the Belt and Road Initiative. Brazil's in a bit of a mess during the early BRI days, with political drama and a recession led by Dilma Rousseff. Any foreign nod to Brazil's struggling economy, whether under Rousseff or her successor, Michael Temer, would have been a welcome boost. Then in walks Jair Bolsonaro, not a fan of China like Trump, making any buddy-buddy with China off limits. Fast forward to January 2023, and Rousseff's mentor, Lula, is back in charge. Brazil, known for its laid-back diplomacy, is kinda okay about hanging out with not-so-friendly leaders. Despite being China's trade BFF, raking in investments and loans, Brazil's playing it cool, staying clear of the BRI buzz. Even with the Brazilian Sinosphere buzzing about a possible BRI shoutout during Luna's April 2023 visit, it's all wishful thinking. The mystery of why Brazil's giving the BRI a pass continues. Let's shift gears to Argentina, where things took a different turn. In February 2022, they inked a deal, shaking hands with the BRI crew. When it comes to global trade, Argentina might be seen as less glued to China compared to Brazil. Their main trade dance partner? That's Brazil, their sidekick in the Mercosur trade crew. While Argentina's FDI game picked up from 2019 to 2022, their hard numbers are a bit elusive. China hasn't historically been at the top of the investor list for Argentina. So why hop on the BRI train? It seems that Argentina's financial woes might be the driving force. With the IMF playing savior multiple times, the latest rescue package in 2022 was a hefty $44 billion. Come July, and there's news that the IMF's lending Argentina more cash, creating a loop of repayment. Argentina's got a cozy deal with China's central bank, swapping pesos for renminbi, and rumor has it, they're dipping into that swap stash to settle the score with international creditors, IMF included. When it comes to Brazil, they've got some options on their plate, even though they're pretty cozy with China in the trade. Back when China was dishing out loans left and right, Brazil snagged a cool $31 billion, according to Dialogue Leadership for the Americas. But here's the twist. Brazil doesn't lean too hard on foreign creditors. It prefers playing the money game within its own borders. Unlike Argentina, Brazil hasn't tapped into its RMB swap line to balance the books. Plus, Brazil has a certain peace of mind, knowing China needs the exports of food and raw materials. With some rocky relationships with other big commodity players like Australia, Canada, and the United States, China can't afford to ruffle feathers with Brazil, a reliable supplier and diplomatic bud. Amid all the big talks about principles and reshaping the international order, Argentina and Brazil's different moves with the BRI spill out two key lessons. Lesson 1, it's all about who's got the upper hand in the deal. While Argentina plays the beggars can't be choosers card with China, Brazil, with its key friend status, gets a say in how the bilateral relationship rolls out. So here's the deal. Argentina's got some big decisions to make in its money game. Skipping out on joining the BRICS crew, as explained by ex-ambassador Sabino Vaca Narvaja, has people worried about missed chances and what it might mean for the country's cash flow. With President Milei making this unexpected move, especially considering Argentina's cozy ties with China, it's like a real-life soap opera of economic choices and global relationships. People are scratching their heads, wondering what's next in Argentina's financial storyline. It's a waiting game to see how this drama unfolds on the world economic stage.